episode of the podcast, I talk with actress, director, and producer Hannah Fierman. You may know her from VHS, American Hell, The Unwanted, and the Killer Creepshow TV series that's streaming on Shudder. We had a really killer talk, and hope you enjoy this one, and make sure to follow me on social media. I have all the links in the notes, and I'll also have a bunch of links for Hannah's work in the notes as well. So thank you, and thank you for listening. All right, Hannah, thanks for being on my podcast.
Thanks for having me, Brandon.
How's things going your way?
They're great. I just got through directing my first full-length feature, and then I did all through October and before just tons and tons of conventions, horror conventions, and now I'm taking a break.
Yeah, I've been following you on Facebook and stuff, and like you're constantly busy. You're super busy. You deserved a break.
Thank you. I needed to do laundry really badly.
So tell me, how was it directing your first feature film?
It was amazing. I was working with a lot of really talented people. My DP is Jan Michael Asada, and he is just incredible. He's just got so many fantastic ideas and just like real run and gun kind of, good independent filmmaker. And collaborating with him was probably the best part. It was also a really good script too. And my actors were also fantastic. It was starring Damien Maffei and Felissa Rose and Terry Kaiser.
Nice.
And yeah, and I just couldn't have asked for a better cast. They just really brought it, and I really didn't have to give them hardly any direction whatsoever. It was it was very easy. Actually, they made it really easy, which is, I guess, the whole point of casting is just being good at casting is more than half the battle, I guess.
That's killer. And what's the name of the film?
Huh?
What's the name of the film?
Dark Circles. It used to be The Event Surrounding a Peeping Tom, but now it's called Dark Circles.
Killer. Yeah, I'll be looking forward to that. I'm a big fan of Felissa Rose, so it'd be cool to see her in something.
Oh my gosh, she just slays it. You're gonna love it. It's so great.
How was it working with her? I'm sure it was pretty crazy, right?
It was really, really easy. She's my producer too, and we've become friends over the past few years. And she just, I like to see what my actors bring to the table before I give them any direction whatsoever. Because, what if they bring something that I like better than I had in mind, or, just let people do their job. And I just let her do her job, and she did it great. She was fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to give too much away because it's a very, very specific character. And it would ruin part of the movie, but yeah, she was I didn't have to tell her anything.
That's killer. Yeah, she's definitely a vet. She's been in so many different horror films, and yeah, she's a badass. It's killer. Yeah, first time I found your work was in the first VHS film when you played Lily.
That's not surprising to me. It's by far my most popular movie. And it's just so funny because David Bruckner and I have done so many other movies, bigger budget movies, bigger deal television shows, with stars in it and bigger names attached and things like that. And yet the only thing that people want to talk to us about is VHS. It's yeah, that's the first thing. Yeah, me too. Oh my gosh.
Well, it was a memorable role, it was my favorite segment from the first VHS, so.
Oh, really? It was your favorite? It was my favorite too, honestly. I haven't seen the most recent VHS film that came out, the 94, but or is it 84? Is it 94?
It's 94.
Okay. And yeah, I still haven't seen that one, so I got to get Shudder or just go borrow my friend's Shudder or something. But yeah, but that was my favorite. I also really enjoyed Radio Silence's one at the end of the first one. And in the second one, I also really liked the zombie one where he he's got the GoPro on his head and sees himself in the reflection and realizes that he's a monster, and then
Hmm.
turns around and gets his head blown off. Like that was just so well executed.
Yeah, most definitely. That's what I love about all the like the whole VHS series. Like each and every one of them's got some like really killer, like innovative stuff in there. You know.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree. And I think what was also kind of fascinating about, or what made it, what made our segment so good was like because of the shaky cam and because of like the staticky effect of it being found footage, amateur photography, anywhere could have been can be an editing point.
Hmm.
So like you're not a slave to your cut. You can literally edit it anywhere. So I think that David worked on it for so long, and I think that it made it exactly what he wanted flow wise, you know. And that's not something that you can do with ordinary narrative format.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah, most definitely. And like I said, the experimental part of it and stuff like that, and just how catchy your segment was, your story was, like it was pretty terrifying. You know, it's like that really got me. I was like, this is fucking killer. And then also the film Siren was based off of that character, correct? So seeing that was fucking cool.
Yeah, it was fun. Um, I think VHS is scarier, but Siren's a really good movie too. I don't really like watching found footage because it makes me want to puke.
Oh.
The shaky cam kind of gets me,
Mhm.
um, but I do think it is the most terrifying um type of horror film subgenre because it's just so real. It just looks so real.
Mhm. Yeah, I think when the Blair Witch, the first one came out, it kind of like revolutionized everything when it comes to like the found footage stuff. I think that was one of the grandfathers of found footage.
Yeah, it was. That was a bazillion years ago, wasn't it?
I know, and it seems like it was just yesterday, but yeah, it's old as hell now.
Yeah.
There's another one that's streaming on Shutter right now that a lot of people haven't seen it because it's been underground for a while, and it's made a kind of a resurgent. It's the Poughkeepsie tapes.
Oh yeah?
Have you ever seen that?
No, is it good?
Oh yeah, it's creepy as shit, and I think it came out in the early '90s. I do believe I have to look that up, but it's on Shutter right now, and it's found footage, and it takes like the serial killer himself is filming everything, and it's not a lot of gore, nothing like that really. There's some fucked up scenes in it, but is this how it was done? It seems like, oh, is this real or is it not real? Because when it came out, nobody really knew about it. It was real underground, and there's all kinds of like speculation about it and stuff. So it's a good one.
Okay, so Poughkeepsie Films.
Yeah.
And it's on Shutter, you said, or where?
Yeah, it's on Shutter. Yep, streaming on Shutter right now.
I don't have Shutter. What is it on? Anything else?
Uh, it was on Tubi. Yeah, have you heard of Tubi?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, it should be on there, or it was on there for a while.
Cool.
So you can check that out. Yeah, that's if you like some. Yeah, and it's not like the camera's not going super crazy either. It's pretty much focused the whole time, so it shouldn't mess with you too bad.
Yeah, I shouldn't. Okay, good.
And also on the we mentioned you haven't seen the new VHS 94. Highly recommended. It's killer. Like I enjoyed all the segments. There's a few I like more than others, but overall it was really really well done.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it was killer. How did you enjoy acting in the new Creepshow series? I saw you in it a couple episodes ago. I was like, holy shit! I was like, there's Hannah. That's cool.
Yeah, I was in season 2 and 3. Um,
Mhm.
and the second season I played the Countess, and my director was Greg Nicotero, and it was amazing working with him. Of course, like he's the man. He's the best dude.
Mhm.
The dude of horror. It was great. Like super positive, really really sweet, wonderful script by Dana Gold, and I worked with Justin Long, and it was fantastic. And then the third season, I worked with Joe Lynch and this dude, King Batch.
Hmm.
Um, I yeah, and it was amazing. I think that was also a really fantastically written segment, and I got to have a little bit bigger role. And they dyed my hair purple, and I love it, and I still got it purple today.
That's killer.
Hmm.
Yeah, the Creepshow series, I really enjoyed, the new series and stuff, and yeah, it pays homage to the old one, super well and stuff, and it's just really cool.
Yeah, yeah, and everybody used to compare VHS to Creepshow, and I'm just like, ooh, I don't know. I don't really know what they mean by that, except for like it being an anthology.
Yeah, I don't see any similarities there besides the anthology part. That's a weird comparison.
And they do it all the time, and I'm just like, yeah, nope, I don't see it.
Yeah, VHS is kind of like its own thing. Like, yes, it's a horror anthology, but it's like way different. That's like night and day between that and Creepshow. So that's
Yeah, Creepshow is
very
way
strange.
lighter, like got a more comedic element, more, I don't know, fantastic element to it as well.
Yeah, that's an odd comparison, but weird.
Yeah.
How did you get your start in acting? How did everything begin for you?
Well, I was adopted by this circus when I was a child. I'm just kidding. I just started theater, just in school, and my parents are artists, and so I don't know. I went to this art school. I made really good friends with this man that was a puppeteer, and I did my first performance with them when I was 3, and just never left the theater. And
Hmm.
then when I was 17, I found a casting notice and auditioned for it for a feature, and I booked that a supporting role in that, and then I decided that I liked film and television better than theater. So, but I still love both, but film and television pay better, and yeah, and yeah, that's what I just didn't stop.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Did you have like anybody you looked up to that kind of inspired you to keep moving?
No, not really. I mean, I just really enjoyed watching movies with my family, so that was inspiration enough.
That's killer. Yeah, that's how I start off just watching movies with my family and all that stuff, and really starting to love the horror genre. Like from a super early age. So it pushed me on to do more things in horror, like podcasting and reviews and all that kind of stuff. So
Cool.
that's a good thing. Yeah, sometimes family comes in handy when it comes to getting you into new things like horror movies.
My dad really loves horror, but I'm only recently getting into it. Well, the past 10 years, I guess. But yeah, I think it's a fantastic genre.
What was your original like favorite genre of films before like you got into horror and stuff?
I really like period pieces, and I also like animation a lot.
Hmm. What are some of your favorite like animes or animation films?
I really thought Spirited Away was amazing. I think everybody does. The original 101 Dalmatians, actually, I think is fantastic. It's my favorite Disney movie. And Nightmare Before Christmas, although I
Mhm.
think that's more stop motion, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of, I think it is stop motion, but we can, yeah, I would throw it in animation too. Yeah, Spirited Away is really good. My wife has a whole like Blu-ray box set of all those films. I know they're on HBO now too, but a little better on the Blu-rays, I guess. So
Yeah, cool. I mean, all of them are good. I can just sit there and binge watch like all of them.
I think I enjoy Howl's Moving Castle for the most part out of all those. I guess because I read the book in school, like when I was in elementary school, maybe or middle school, and then nostalgia.
I just really love his like disposal. Like what is it? Like the furnace disposal that just like eats all of his eggshells and stuff.
Uh-huh.
That's
Be nice to have one of those, right?
it's so cute. Yeah.
It's so like whimsical, but kind of like has these evil overtones. Like
Hmm.
it's dark and like whimsical at the same time.
It's got a style for sure.
Hmm. What are some like more recent things you're watching now that you're really digging?
Let me think. Well, okay, so I watched the first season of The Great about Catherine the Great. It's got
Hmm.
Nicholas Holt and Elle Fanning, and I think that that is some of the best written television I've seen since True Detective.
Wow.
Honestly, it is just so well written, and even if you're not really into like period pieces and stuff like that, they've modernized it in such a way that it's just extremely cleverly done
Hmm.
and well executed. And I could just watch it for the wardrobe. It's fantastic. And
Hmm.
there's a new season that's coming out, so I'm looking forward to that. And what else did I want to see? Um, oh crap! It's this animated series that's like about this underground political. Hold on, I can't remember the name of it. It kind of reminds me of Rick and Morty, but it's about like almost like a Men in Black kind of. Do you know what I'm talking about?
It sounds familiar, but I'm not recalling the name on that.
I could look it up, but I'd have to probably pause you.
Yeah. Yeah. You a Rick and Morty fan?
Yeah, of course.
Oh hell yeah, me too. One of the best cartoons to come out in like forever, in my opinion.
Yeah, and this one's really good. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. I have
Hey,
my
go.
I sent a link it to my friends, so can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. It is. Oh no, you're gonna have to edit this out. I can't find it.
Oh.
Crap. Oh, hold on. Here it is. It's called Inside Job.
Inside Job. Okay, I've heard of that one. I haven't seen it though.
It's spectacular.
Is it from the creators of Rick and Morty by chance, or?
It looks like it could be, but I
Mhm.
don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay, I'll put that on my list because I'm big on Rick and Morty style cartoons or any kind of like weird shit like that.
It's pretty far out. I think you'll like it.
So you're saying that the one show you're watching now you compare it to like True Detective?
No, it's not anything like True
No, I'm
Detective,
talking about
except
being as good as it is. Like,
yes,
yeah. What was your favorite season of True Detective?
is the first one by far. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. That shit was so good. They're all decent, like, but that first season, holy shit, man, it's so good. Like, with Woody Harrelson and then Matthew McConaughey, who I didn't think could act that well, but I was blown away. It's like, holy shit, he can act his ass off.
He sure can. Yeah, I think that was probably the best written show I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in my top 10 all time, like best written, best shows
Hmm.
ever. Like, so
Yeah.
good, so dark, and it's like, man,
Yep, and so just extremely well executed. Like, yeah, everything, casting, everything.
it got me on a journey of looking up like the Yellow King and all that stuff, going through like the mythology of the Yellow King and all. And it got super dark and like the stuff I was finding out about him, like what the first season was based off of, pretty much, and pretty crazy shit. He was inspiration to Lovecraft, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember who wrote the Yellow King off the top of my head right now, but I know that book was an inspiration for Lovecraft.
That's amazing. I did not know that.
Hmm. It's a strange book. I was reading it when I was on tour one year with the band and stuff, and I was trying to keep up with it as we were driving and everything. But it's a lot going on in that book. There's like suicide machines and all kinds of craziness. The Yellow King, like it's nuts.
Hmm. I think I'll give it a skip. Sounds a little too dark for me right now.
Yeah, it's pretty dark. It's bleak. Don't
Hmm.
recommend it unless you're ready to go down the dark alley there. Have you do you follow Dexter?
No,
No.
no, I don't. I don't really honestly watch all that much television. I haven't really been in one place long enough to like actually just like have a routine.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I've definitely seen an episode or two.
Yeah, you've been busy, like I said, with the conventions and filming and stuff. How many conventions have you done this year so far? Well, the year's almost over now, but
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe six, maybe seven, maybe
damn.
eight. I don't know. Yeah, I just started. Like I wish I'd been doing these before. Like I'm like, why did I waitress? Um, like conventions are just so much more fun. And yeah, I can't remember the first one or what when it was the first one I did, but after that I was just like, okay, I'm hooked. And you see all the same people and it's fun to run into your old buddies. It's just like one gigantic like roaming family
Hmm.
where you just all meet up at different parts of the country and the world, all at the same time. And it's just like the vendors are very similar, it's people that you know, and then like, there's rock stars that you run into and it's just like, oh, hey, what's up, dude? And it's just fun. And the thing about it that I find so lovely is that it kind of puts everybody, especially with the horror conventions, everybody just seems on the same level. Like no matter how big of a celebrity or if you're just like a volunteer or whatever, it just kind of evens the playing field and everybody's just there to have a good time and to, enjoy themselves and there's just very little ego involved and I think if you had a big stupid ego, you'd be ousted. It's kind of like a club, it's a little
Hmm.
cliquey. And but like in the loveliest way possible. And it's just yeah, it's its own vibe and I love it.
Do you have like a favorite so far that you've been to, like at all the conventions?
My favorite so far is probably Scarefest. That was in where was that? Kentucky is the one I went to. But I also really love Days of the Dead. Um, I still haven't done a Mad Monster. I'd really like to. Yeah, and the little pop-up ones, the little like one dayers, those are great too because like you just show up and it's just a one day thing and it's just easier. But the 3 day ones, those are a little exhausting. It's a lot. It's a lot to be
Mhm.
on for 3 days, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 day stuff is killer. I remember being at a heavy metal festival for like 4 days, and it's 4 days of shows. You're standing there and like the whole damn time. There's nowhere to really sit at unless you like find a place in the grass to sit somewhere. But it's like an overload and too much. You're like dead at the end of that shit, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that folks just want like spectacle. And really, I don't know. I mean, I definitely do, I don't need it. Like I find whenever I go to museums, like art museums, there's always just way too much art all in one place. And it's just
Mhm.
like maybe you guys should just like curate just like one little thing and have that be the thing and then just rotate it and you don't have to fill every space of every wall and every ceiling with some sort of masterpiece. It's just sensory overload.
Hmm. And it definitely drains you too, like trying to like look at everything, like I can't take it, it's too much, you know.
Yep. Yep. I also feel that way with a lot of platforms, media platforms like just like Netflix. I'll get on there and I'm just like, oh, too much. I can't pick. Never mind. I'll go, garden or something instead
Mhm.
because it's just, I don't know, analysis paralysis, I reckon.
Yeah, there's so much stuff, and there's more streaming networks coming out as we speak. There's new stuff here and there, and it's like it's so much. Like back in the day, it was a little bit easier. You go to the video store, like you have a
Hmm.
limited amount of choices and stuff like that, and they're a little bit more curated, you know. Now it's
Hmm.
just like so much shit.
Hmm. Yeah. And I can't really complain because that's where you can find all my stuff. But yeah, for me personally, I'm not really good at sleuthing out what it is that I really want to see. And I need to get better at that. And I need to get better at like making playlists and just curating music and vibes and just, submersing myself in art.
Hmm. Yeah, I use Spotify for most of my music or Bandcamp and stuff. And if I'm about to get a workout in or whatever, I'm feeling high energy, then I go like death metal or some doom metal. If everything else is pretty much just Drab Majesty, which is like a dark electronic synth stuff.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good about curating that. It's like, same with films. Like you got to be in the mood for a certain film. Like I was on a 90s kick last night. I was watching Love in a 45, and then before that I was watching Habit, which is from a vampire film from 1995. And it was nice. It's like that 90s nostalgia feeling. It felt good.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, and I'm always drawn to like the early 90s because something so dark about the film, horror or not horror. It could be like thrillers or even the comedies back then. Everything was a little bit darker and grittier.
Yeah. Yeah, even the cartoons. Like,
Hmm.
let me like Ren and Stimpy. I mean, that's some messed up stuff. And like I don't know, Beavis and Butthead. I mean, that was not wholesome content.
Mm-mm, not at all. It just seems like nowadays, like the kids don't really have that kind of like. There are some fucked up cartoons, but not quite like it used to be back in, the 90s.
Yeah, maybe. Most of them are for adults, really.
Yeah, that's true. And I don't think the kids nowadays have Saturday morning cartoons to watch like we used to have back then too. So that kind of sucks.
They can watch cartoons whenever they want because it's streaming on a bazillion platforms at all times.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I got 1,000 different choices. Narrow it down a little bit. That's the one thing I like about Shudder. It's all curated stuff. Like,
I agree. Yeah, I agree with that. I think they got the right idea.
yeah, and they also do the Joe Bob stuff on Fridays when the season started up and everything, and that's always fun to kind of live tweet with people, all watching the same thing. That's really killer.
Yeah, everybody keeps talking about Joe Bob to me, and I still haven't seen it, but I actually worked with a bunch of people from his crew on that movie I directed
Hmm.
last month, and I got to check it out.
Yeah, it's entertaining. He's an encyclopedia of like horror knowledge and film knowledge in general, not just horror movies. Like he's like a damn robot of film. Like the stuff he knows is insane.
Yeah, I think Felicia's on that a lot.
Yeah, she definitely is, and she does like the live tweets too. So it's really funny. Like get her and Barbara Crampton on there in the live tweet and responding back to you is always really cool. Like people are going crazy. It's like a kind of a party without a party.
Okay, now I'm definitely gonna check it out. Yeah, I still haven't met Barbara, but we've been in the same places at the same time so many times, and yet I don't know, ships in the night, still haven't met her.
Who are some of the people you look up to that you've met in the conventions that made a really good impression on you?
Um, Honestly, I think Paul Taylor might be my new favorite human. Like, he's Pinhead from one of the Hellraisers. I think it was the third one, and he and I are just like whenever we get together, it's like we could be in middle school, best friends in middle school. We just get so dumb. Our handler at this convention called us like, what did he call us? He called us the Laugh Factory because we literally just didn't stop laughing for like 3 days straight. And I don't know. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely inspiring to me artistically. He's very, very clever and extremely, extremely talented actor.
Hmm.
But also just like a genuine delight to me. Who else? Let me think. Oh, I met some really great people at conventions. There's so many fun ones. I think Ross Marquand is extremely talented. I met him at a convention, and I'm just like, I'm kind of inspired to do some of my um, impressions, you know. But honestly, I'm nowhere near as good as he is. He's amazing.
Hmm.
Who else? A lot of amazing people. It's too many to count. Like I met some really inspiring acrobats the other day, contortionists, and
Hmm.
I'm not aspiring to do any of that. I'm really not flexible anymore. Yeah, it was so fun. And I met some musicians that actually just asked me to direct their music videos. So
Oh, badass. What musicians are you allowed to say, or
I don't know. I don't know if I'm actually allowed to say, so I'm just gonna keep that to myself.
I got you. Are they heavy metal or?
Yes.
Yeah, figured it'd probably be heavy metal if they're girl.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
That's really killer. I was in a metal band for a good part of my life, and we got a video filmed up there in North Carolina. It was all like super professional from a couple guys that did a really badass independent horror movie that I can't fucking remember for the life of me right now off the top of my head because it's been so damn long. But anyways, they filmed a music video for us, and it was so fucking killer. I'm like all the blood and stuff we had in there, and like the theatrics and shit. It was really cool.
Cool. I'm glad you had a good time. Yeah, I mean, I think music videos would just be like it's like probably I don't know. I think it would be really satisfying.
Yeah, and you'd be able to throw your like fucking hard touch on it, or
Whatever
your
you
view on
want.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's how videos should be. If you're gonna go all out and do a music video, like go all out and do it the right way.
Oh yeah, let's get weird with it.
Yeah, that's like kind of watching a mini movie if you tell a story.
You know the ones that I really can't stand are the ones where it's just like I'm walking around the house. This is a music video. This is me singing, walking around the house.
That's horrible.
Yeah, I've seen so many of those, and I'm just like, why did you even bother? You know? Okay.
Yeah. What kind of music are you into?
Oh, I like everything.
Yeah.
I like everything from like, I don't know. I was on like a Viking death metal kick for there for a second.
Nice.
That was really fun. Yeah. I don't know. I was just like, I love all things Viking. Like,
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm English and Ashkenazi. I'm not from Nordic culture, but if I could be, I would adopt them, and pretend that I was like a Viking heritage. Um, yeah, and so I just looked it up one day and I was like, this is amazing, and that was my jam for a really long time, and then I got on like a really chill vibe, like Blue Sky, Black Death, quieter, but subdued. So I'm all over the place.
That's cool. It's good to have variety. I go from like a heavy ass death metal to 80s new wave, 80s gothic, and synth wave nowadays. I got these badass synth wave bands out there that sound a lot like the bands from the 80s. So I'm all over the place with that.
Okay, I'll have to check that out. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, I can send you a link to a few bands. Like one in particular I mentioned earlier was Drab Majesty. I think they're out of like California, and they kind of mix like it's a two-person band, and they mix theatrics like uh kind of 80s look to it, like 80s and early 90s kind of look, and then have like these it's hard to say. They look like kind of space aliens, I guess, on stage. They got like these weird wigs on. They paint their whole body in like blue glitter and stuff. And it's really dark shit too. Like even their videos have some horror elements to them, and it's just really killer stuff.
Yes, please send that to me. That sounds nuts.
Yeah, I've been obsessed with this band for like going on 3 years now. A friend of mine posted a link. I was like, oh, check it out. I like that kind of shit, and I can't get away from it. It's so damn good.
Cool.
Did you have you said you met some rock stars at the conventions? Have you met anybody like Alice Cooper or anything like that? Or I know he makes appearances.
Mm, no, but that would be really cool.
Yeah, I know Phil Anselmo does a lot of stuff too with the horror conventions. He's in the band Pantera. Have you ever met him or
No.
no? Okay.
I
Yeah.
mean, I've only met a handful. They're really, really the best, though. I gotta say, they're like probably like if there was a cool kid at a convention, like if a convention was high school,
Hmm.
the rock stars would be the super cool kids, and
That's cool.
then the famous actors and directors. But the rock stars are just a little bit cooler.
Yeah, I'm hopefully next year I can make some conventions and stuff. It's been a strange year and financially and all that stuff for myself. So hopefully next year I'll be good to go. As vacation took all my other kind of money away. Damn New Orleans.
Nice.
Yeah. I didn't see any vampires down there. Like, I don't know. I was trying to look for Anne Rice's house and all that stuff. Didn't really find that in New Orleans, but interesting place. Besides all that, very interesting. I could see, could be some kind of vampiric shit going on down there, but I didn't see it.
Oh, well, I guess you just didn't look in the right places. I don't know. Last time I was in, not last time, but a little while ago, I went to, this was actually quite a while ago. Anne Rice was still into writing her vampire books, and I went down and visited a buddy, and it was Mardi Gras, and we ended up at Anne Rice's house, and I met her and her son, and we hung out and partied together. It was pretty nuts.
That's badass. How was Anne Rice in person?
So nice.
Hmm.
Yeah, really, really, really sweet. She was like, "Oh my gosh, you have such beautiful hair," and I'm like, "Oh, I love you." And yeah, she was really sweet.
Was that down there like by the French Quarter? Do you know? Or
Yeah, it was like one of her houses. I don't think it was her house proper. I think it was like her party house. It was
yeah,
like it was where the parade was going by, and my friend just happened to be famous, and yeah, I just happened to be friends with Anne Rice's son, so we went and partied there. I was a teenager.
well, that's one hell of a memory there.
Yeah, it really was. It was great. I've had a lot of fun memories of New Orleans. I don't think I've ever had a bad time there.
It's an interesting town. It's a lot like where I'm at in South Carolina, like right on the water and stuff. Very similar kind of foods, and the culture is very similar. So it's kind of
Now
like
I'm
almost visiting the same place I live at.
now I want to yeah, now I'm like I need a low country boil in my life right now.
Yeah, we're like spoiled on seafood and stuff here. Like that's nothing. Like then you go like to the Midwest or something like, oh, seafood, and like, you had to get it shipped over to them. Like, oh, we just get it right here.
Okay, but it's crazy. I did this movie in Kentucky back not September, but the previous September.
Hmm.
Um, okay, in Kentucky, right? Um, I found this sushi place. It was some of the best sushi I've ever had in my whole life. It was in Florence. No, it was Florence, Kentucky.
Hmm.
So we were shooting in Kentucky, Indiana, and Ohio. It was right there where they're all sort of 45 minutes from one another. And yeah, and we were staying in this house and we were all quarantined, me and all the other actors. And yeah, and I found the sushi place and it was just the jam. And I was just like, how is this? You're nowhere near the ocean. But I guess some people got the hookup. They got the sushi underground hookup.
Yeah, must be. Yeah, I've never ate sushi anywhere that wasn't close to the water for the most part, but I'm sure I have. I've been to a bunch of different states, so I don't know for sure. I don't, but I ate sushi up in, I think New Jersey, but New Jersey's close to the water, and it was really good up that way. So sushi's good
Mm.
here, but I think we get most of our, I think most of the sushi is shipped in anyways, from what I've heard. So
Huh.
yeah, well, the fish anyways that they use in the sushi is shipped in. It
Yeah,
has
I
to be
mean
like a
it's
special kind.
frozen anyway. Yeah, most of it, I assume. Because you
Out of
kind
all
of
the
got to kill all the flukes, all the parasites.
Oh yeah, I've seen some videos on that before. I'm like, ah, shit.
Yeah, that's a rabbit hole right there.
Yeah, yeah, making me think. And sushi's one of my favorite foods too. Like, yeah, I don't want to think about what's on that fish. Out of all the places you've been, like doing films and stuff, do you have like any favorites?
Favorite place shot?
Yeah.
My favorite was probably London. Um, yeah, I just had such a good time there, and they were just so professional and so charming. And I'm from England, and it was just like nostalgic to go back and go see my family and stuff. And so that was when I was shooting Toast of London, and it was great. I mean, the makeup artist gave me a facial after we were done with the day. Like I'm just
Mhm.
like, that's crazy. This is decadent. I'm loving this. I had so much fun. And I got to hang out with Matt Berry and Alan Ford and Robert Bathurst, and they're just the sweetest, funnest dudes.
That's killer. Yeah, I've never been I've been never been overseas actually. I want to go overseas. I've been all 50 states pretty much, but I've never been overseas. So I'm hoping my next vacation to be like maybe Scotland or something like that, or Ireland.
Go to Edinburgh. Yeah.
That would be killer.
It's like Edinburgh is what you want London to be, but it isn't. Like
Mhm.
Edinburgh is probably the most beautiful city I've ever seen. And except for maybe Istanbul. I think Istanbul's pretty darn gorgeous too, but I love Scotland. The weather is insane though. Layer. It is weird. It is weird. It'll be sunshiny one minute, you'll be way too hot. And the next minute you've got ice like coming down on you, filling up your pockets. It's just the weather's nuts.
Sounds crazy. I've got family over there, I believe, because I'm Scottish for the most part. I didn't do the ancestry thing, but I just looked up my last name. My parents always told me this for years. I'm like, oh, it makes sense. So there's a whole clan of us over there. So maybe I'll be royalty when I get there.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, like, oh, here's your house. This is passed in the family line here. I'm like, all right, well, I'm moving.
Yeah, you let me know. You let me know. Send me pics of your castle.
That would be killer. One can dream. What is your out of all the films you've done, horror, non-horror and stuff, what is your one of your favorite films that you've done? Like, do you have one that you could narrow down or a couple of your favorite?
Yeah. I really, really liked this one really obscure movie that I did back in like 2014. That was that's called Good Grief Suicide Hotline.
Hmm.
And I think it's on Prime, I'm pretty sure. And it's a very dark comedy and it's got some gems in there. I mean, it's a little dated now. But I just thought it was so funny when I first watched it. And so I'm really proud of that. And like there's some movies that I've done that maybe the whole movie I didn't love, but I did there's some elements to it that I thought were exceptional. I really really liked my work in The Unwanted, and I was really proud of that work. And in Saint Agatha, I think that I was pleased with my performance there as well.
That's killer. You're very well rounded. Like, you can play it all, which is really cool. It's a good trait to have.
Thank you.
Yeah, you do horror, you do drama, like it's good. Like, some people can only do a certain thing or whatever, but like it's good to have different choices. Keep you interested.
Yeah, absolutely. I love doing comedy most.
Would you say that's your favorite? You think if you had to pick one, comedy?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I got a favorite comedy of all time, not that you've been in, but like favorite comedy film.
Yeah, I've got a few. I've got quite a few actually. I mean, I love Groundhog Day. I think that that's just a stellar piece. I can just watch it over and over and over.
Yeah, that
Ironically.
is a good one.
Yeah, and I really love the movie Moonstruck. It's been a long time since I saw it, but it's a rom-com, but it's a really quirky rom-com. And yeah, I'm kind of on an Ace Ventura kick right now. Like
Oh, classic.
it's been yeah, I decided to revisit that. Yeah, lots of good stuff.
Yeah, I think out of almost every comedy I've ever seen, Dumb and Dumber still holds up super well. Like, like it's I think it's a perfect comedy. I don't know why. It just is to me. Like Dumb and Dumber, the original one, like so damn good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a fan of like Napoleon Dynamite and that kind of weird like comedy. It's like kind of its own thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what you would call that. It's like a feel good comedy, but really well done. So, what what future projects do we got to look out for coming our way from you?
Yeah, okay. Well, Dark Circles probably be done sometime in next year, obviously. And that's a really, that's the one I directed. I'm really excited about. I've got a movie called Terror Trips that's just now it's about to be in theaters. And let's think. This movie called Time's Up is almost finished. I did that with Felissa and Damien. And Felissa and Damien also were attached to Terror Trips.
Nice.
And what else do I have? I don't remember. Just been so much going on. But yeah, those are the ones I definitely keep an eye out for. And yeah, check out my latest episode of Creepshow.
Oh yeah, I definitely recommend the Creepshow. Anything you're in, like if you're listening right now, people like check anything out that she's played in. It's fucking great. So you can't really go wrong with anything. That's my opinion.
Thank you.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, Hannah, it's been great talking with you. This has been fun, and it's good going over some other stuff besides horror every now and again. Talking some comedy and all that was really cool. So I appreciate you being on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.